They say it's like Ireland and Hawaii had a baby. You tell me. All I can say is it's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. It's only 2 hours from Lisbon or 4 hours from New York, and I think you really ought to visit. This is the Azores, the Portuguese islands in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean that are unlike anywhere else in the world. I spent 2 days exploring, first on the main island of São Miguel, and then on the far western and very special island of Flores. And today I thought I'd take you along, show you what that was like, and point out some of the best spots to visit if you want the highlights of these two gorgeous places. I'll show you some activities, some food, some hikes, and of course many very beautiful sights. I want to approach this video as an answer to the question, what should you do if you have a day or so to visit each of these islands? And hopefully it gives you some ideas if you're planning a trip, or at least gives you some generalized travel inspiration. This video is a bit different because the airplanes aren't the focus, but just supporting characters. My goal is to do more travel-focused content on this channel, and while I'm not sure if that's going to work for the algorithm and for you, the audience, I think it's worth a try to bring you more world exploration in between documenting all these flights. Because if you're anything like me, although I love aviation and flying, and especially premium cabins, the destination is half the fun, and I strive to make the best of my visits to all these special spots around the globe, even if they're often brief. I find that helps me distill things down to the essence, hopefully, if I'm doing it right anyway. So let's get out there, and please do let me know in the comments what you think about videos like this living side by side with my flight videos. Can I pull it off? For background, last August I went on an Atlantic island hopping adventure for Flight Radar 24. I'm publishing all those flying videos over on that channel, and I'll link those below. The initial purpose was to catch the inaugural flight from New York to the Faroe Islands, so I thought why not make a themed adventure out of it and fly via the Azores westbound using small Atlantic islands as stopping off points in both directions. So I landed at night at Ponta Delgado, the principal airport and biggest city in the Azores, and had the whole next day to explore this island, São Miguel. Today I'm in the Azores, or Azores, depending how you want to pronounce it. Here they say Azores. Many people I've heard in the past say Azores. I'm in the middle of a crazy flying adventure doing 7 flights from Stockholm to New York instead of the obvious non-stop, because I wanted to go via the Azores and I wanted to see some of the islands here, so I figured out that I could tack on a bunch of little intra-island flights in addition. So I've carved out a full day here in São Miguel, the biggest island, and then tomorrow I'm going to have about 6 hours in Flores Island, which is the westernmost point of the Azores, and it's also the westernmost point in Europe. And interestingly enough, that island is on the North American tectonic plate. So in a way, we're right on the border here. We're not in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, but pretty close. Hoping that I can go first to the town of Furnas, which apparently has a bunch of thermal baths. So let's go, let's check out what you can do driving around São Miguel Island in a day. My number one priority is finding a hot spring this morning, but most of them require booking, and I didn't realize that, so that was a bit of a fail. This car is totally hilarious. I mean hilarious in a not fun way. Somehow, I'm not that tall, 178 centimeters, 5'10"-ish, and I'm like really high in here. The seat is at the lowest it can go. The driving position's super uncomfortable. You feel like you're kind of wedged up high in this tiny thing. This cost 198 euros for a day and a half. So that's high season in the Azores for you. Anyway, let's get going. Luckily, I found one that doesn't take advance reservations. Alright, made it after a 45-minute drive. Pretty beautiful through the mountains. Funny how many cows you see along the way. And now we're at the Poca da Beija thermal spas, I guess it's called. Gonna see if we can get in here and take a bath. This place is simple and not that big, but it's actually really nice, not too crowded, and you've got various baths at different temperatures to soak in. The surroundings are really pretty too. Overall, just a really nice place to spend a morning. It's €8 to get in here. Since I was there, they seem to have moved to an online ticket purchase system, so I don't know if that means you now need to worry about booking in advance. It might not hurt. You can also rent a towel and a locker for €4 and €2 respectively. Bringing a towel with you from the hotel could be a good bet.
This is actually really nice. I thought it was going to be super crowded. Seemed like tons of people coming in, but it's actually not that bad at all. And plenty of times you can get in one of the baths by yourself. Perfect temperature, beautiful weather, awesome greenery around, can't beat it. Azores is very busy in August. I'm waiting an hour now for a table for lunch in this little town, Furnas. I asked the lady at the hot spring place what the best restaurant in town is, and she told me this, Vale das Furnas. So I guess it's worth it, but I bet it'd be perfection to come here in September, October, or anytime not in the northern summer. Anyway, let's see how the food is here. Big beer and a pretty big water only cost me €4, starting off well.
This is the Cocido das Furnas. It's known as the volcanic stew because it's slow cooked underground using volcanic heat. It is so delicious, packed full of vegetables and meats with a special smoky flavor. But this is such a ridiculous amount of food for one person. I commented about this to the waitress that one person can't possibly eat all this, and she just laughed and agreed. Okay, but wastefulness aside, this was a real highlight.
Yeah, just great. It was worth the wait. Anyway, it's an hour and 20 minutes over to the Sete Cidades lake, which a lot of people have recommended. Pretty much everyone has said, I need to go there, I need to see that. It's on the other side of the island, all the way to the west. So let's do the hour and 20-minute drive in my terrible Mitsubishi Space Star. I'm getting used to it. It's almost growing on me, actually.
As you drive around this island, there are dozens of opportunities to pull over and take photos or just gaze out at the glorious ocean. I lost track of the number of viewing areas there are. But the most amazing sights are definitely on the west side of the island, so let's continue onward.
Representing Svalbard in the Azores. If you haven't seen that video, make sure to check out the link. I just published it today. Feels a million miles away. Completely different environment, and honestly I take this weather over Svalbard's weather, but both are very special. Looking for a viewpoint that everyone's been recommending called the Grotta do Inferno, or Boca de Inferno, mouth of hell. It looks like it's about 1 kilometer up that way. The landscape here is so varied, it's really gorgeous, beautiful at every turn. Some of the built environment can be a little bit less than gorgeous, but everything that's natural, pristine is just amazing. And here we have quite a bit of pine. Other times you have these big fields that look really volcanic. And you have cows throughout, just seeming to be living the best cow life. Check out this enchanted forest we found ourselves in all of a sudden. Look at this place. The Canary Lake is down here. It's not the mouth of hell that I'm looking for, but I'm gonna check this out first. It's becoming golden hour here, and the light is pushing through these pine trees and the ferns and all this gorgeous vegetation. There's moss along the walls. I guess this is on top of volcanic rock. Just stunning.
I'd say this view alone is worth coming to the Azores for, wouldn't you?
Now just getting my first in-person taste, not on Google Images, of one of these Azorean crater lakes, volcanic craters, I guess they are. This scenery is truly something else. And I guess there's viewpoints all around here with different perspectives on this. It's just stunning with the wall of mountain, green, lush mountain rising up from the lake, and then the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean just behind. Amazing. I've heard people describe the Azores, as Hawaii meets Ireland. I think that's so right on. You have that kind of volcanic thing and also green rolling hills, emerald water. The combination is stunning, just stunning. I mean, is it the perfect combination? Geographically speaking, depends on what you're into, but I think for me, it's pretty close. This here I wouldn't mind having a view out my window of on a daily basis. And the weather is just perfect. What is this even? Warm, cool breeze, nice warm sun. Oh, incredible.
This one is totally gorgeous, but in its own way. It's less spectacular because it's not as high as the other one, but you get this really cool view, almost feeling like you're within the crater, seeing that mountain. I don't know if you can call it a mountain, that volcanic ridge rising up, and you're a bit more in it, and looking at the lake with these beautiful plants in the foreground. It makes for a very nice photo, just like I saw online. So I'm glad I took the trip over here. I think I'm going to go over now to a viewpoint that a friend of mine recommended that looks out to the ocean for something a little different. Another pretty nice thing is that right now I'm alone here. I haven't really been alone in a spot all day. There were some people here just a minute ago, they left. Mine is the only car. Crap Mitsubishi Space Star, which I'm coming to love in a weird way. Cruising around on these roads. Yeah, me and the Space Star. And occasionally a car passing by. So I guess this just about wraps up the visit around São Miguel. It's been amazing to see it, even though it's not enough time really to see it. I loved Furnas and the feeling there and the hot springs, and the food was great, but this side of the island really is something else. The scenery over here. I'd like to take more time and hike around and get into the forest. Anyway, 4 of those flights tomorrow, out to Flores, back via Horta and Ponta Delgado, and then over to Terceira, and from there I'm going to take a flight to JFK. But tomorrow in Flores I have about 6 hours and a rental car. Azores gets a big thumbs up from me so far, and looking forward to another day hopping around, mostly in planes, a little bit on the island in cars as well. So let's do the 40-minute drive back to Ponta Delgado. I'm going to chill at the hotel, go through some footage, charge some batteries, and get ready for the long, flying, adventurizing day tomorrow.